than I am. It's my hairstyle. It's the mirror. Really, the mirror, the things we tell ourselves. My goal at the beginning of this journey was my health. My paternal family history is fraught with heart disease. Everyone has had a heart attack or cardiac event by the age of 50. So there's high blood pressure, cholesterol issues, and diabetes. Coming from this family history and being obese, my wake-up call came to me when my husband, of almost 20 years, said to me, "You're beautiful no matter what, and I love you. You are not healthy, and that scares me." As true as that may have been, hearing it hurt me a lot, but made me face the brutal facts of the risks I was taking with my health. I have 4 beautiful children, and I needed to do everything I could to be able to dance at their weddings and play with my grandchildren at the park. I needed my children to see me lead by example. They had to know that obesity is not an option. Regardless of how pretty I wanted to become, I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to reduce my risk for all the obesity-related diseases. At the time, I also thought it would be great to be able to climb the stairs in my house without feeling like I was dying. I have had the same Jenny Craig consultant, Cindy, for the last 6 years. She is my loyal partner on my journey and an invaluable source of encouragement and information about the weight loss process. When I first met with Cindy at my center, I discovered that my eating habits, to put it lightly, were horrendous. Turns out that I'd consider an appetizer was actually a full meal. Try telling that to a food addict. It's ugly. After my first week on Jenny Craig, I came back in, almost in tears, asking Cindy, "When could I eat until I'm full?" She giggled this sympathetic giggle. Cindy has lost about 80 pounds and kept it off for years. And she told me, "Don't give up. It's hard, really hard." I still wanted to drown my frustration in my favorite junk foods. I wanted ice cream, candy, cake, chips, pizza, anything to fill the void. Over time, Cindy helped me realize that food isn't the answer. It is nourishment, not a way of life. I would frequently tell her that when I lost another 10 pounds, I wanted to reward myself with a pecan pie. She kept encouraging me to persevere and reward myself with a new outfit or a cute pair of new shoes. Much to my husband's dismay, I did reward myself, frequently I might add, with this new way of non-food treats to celebrate my successes and lifestyle changes. One thing I love about the Jenny program is how easy and flexible it is. This was the key to my success. I'm a busy mom of 4, I own my own photography studio, I travel, and my husband is an airline pilot, so is gone frequently each week. I need easy. I don't have time to count points, to measure out a piece of chicken the size of my fist. I need to go into my freezer, see a blue box, and know that it's healthy for me. I know it's portioned out perfectly, I know I like it, and I know it's safe. The blue boxes, even today, are my safe zone. I see them, and they remind me, even subconsciously, that I need to continue my eating pattern. I've learned that I can volumize my food with all kinds of good things. I am a huge salsa fan. I put salsa on pretty much everything. I can do that on Jenny. The only activity I was doing prior to beginning Jenny was bending my elbow from my plate to my mouth. That was it. No walking, no jogging, no gym. After I lost about 20 pounds, I figured it was a good idea to join a gym. I began in a cycling class. It nearly killed me in the first 10 minutes. I was by far the heaviest person there. People were staring at me, probably snickering, thinking they'd never see me again. I kept cycling. Pound by pound, I was beginning to see a difference in my body. The scale was moving, it was empowering. I cycled all through my weight loss and then branched out into a bit of running. I'm not a runner. In my mind, I'm sometimes still the fat girl. I might always be the fat girl in my head. That's okay. It keeps me motivated and on track. When I was within 10 pounds of my goal weight, a good friend threw down the gauntlet. It was about a year ago. She challenged me to run a half marathon. Insanity, I thought. I'm not a runner. I don't run unless somebody's chasing me. It wasn't going to work. So what did I do? I grabbed the closest neighbor and begged her to train with me. The plan was daily at 4 a.m. Why at 4 a.m.? Because in Phoenix, 4 a.m. is the only time it's not 120 degrees. It was dark, it was ugly, I died with every step, but I kept going. I kept going and going, almost like Forrest Gump, but with maybe slightly more sweat involved. I'm proud to say this past March, I completed the half marathon. It wasn't pretty, trust me. I hobbled in well past the full marathon runners. It might even have been embarrassing, except I didn't notice, probably due to exhaustion, but also because I did it. I finished a half marathon. In a million years, you wouldn't have believed my body could do it, but it did. I am still in disbelief. I have my medal hanging on the headboard, my bib is framed, and every night I look at it knowing I can do it, and I will do it again. My lifestyle has completely changed since my weight loss. I run a few mornings each week and hike. I'm able to chase my kids, walk the dogs, to swim and not be ashamed to be in my bathing suit. I accompanied my husband to a board of directors meeting for his airline company, and I was his trophy wife. When you walk in a room and the wives look at their husbands with the "you better not look at her" glare, you know you've made progress. It's empowering. I can do all the things I've always wanted to do with only the limitations of my own mind. My body is finally in a place to do anything I ask of it. In conclusion, I guess the main thing I would like to hammer into people's minds is that it's possible with the right mindset. It can be done. It's not easy. It's the opposite. But having support from my consultant, Cindy, was a huge help to keep me on track towards my goal. I make the choice, sometimes hourly, to stay on plan. I realize that this is a healthy lifestyle for a lifetime. It's not a diet. This is the long haul towards health and greater happiness, and I can tell you one thing with certainty. It is worth it. Every penny I've spent on Jenny is worth my own smile. I can finally look in the mirror and not be ashamed. I am proud, my husband and children are proud, and at the end of the day, if I can inspire just one person, I've accomplished more than I ever thought possible. All thanks to Jenny Craig and my fabulous consultant, Cindy. Sincerely, Melissa Kahn.
Please welcome to the stage our special guest and successful client, Melissa Kahn.
Thank you for all the applause, but really, I'd like to turn that applause back to you guys, because you guys are the real heroes, so give yourselves a round. Thank you all.
So when I had an opportunity to hear Melissa's story, and of course, nobody ever wants to come up and talk after you listen to the stories, because I don't know about you, but it just, whether it's emotional or not, it's always emotional because you've made such an impact on your client's life. And a couple of things that Melissa and I spoke about when we were talking was about her successes and her challenges. And the first thing I want to do is recognize Lori, the center director. So part of her success, as you heard, or what she says is the reason that she's successful is because of her consultant. Now, while we know that the consultant makes all the difference in the world, you heard how dedicated this client was, and she was going to persevere through anything. But the consultant really makes the difference. Over the last few days, we've been talking yesterday was our first day, actually. Just feels much longer at this point. Over the last few days, we've been talking about bringing the core of our business back to the front and making sure that this is what we continue to focus on. And I asked Melissa today, what were some of the things that this program provided you to help make you successful? And I just want her to be able to share a couple of those things with you right now.
I think that you have to come to Jenny Craig with the right state of mind. You have to walk through the door and be open to maybe being hungry for a week or two. You have to be open to really wanting to make a change. And when I walked into the center, as Lori can tell you, I was ready for a change. I wasn't ready for how hard that change would be. And I said to Lori, I need somebody who's going to give this to me straight up. I need somebody who's not going to take my BS. Someone who is actually going to call me and call my bluff when I say, yeah, I ate, but then, why did the scale go up if I ate all the right food? So somebody who really held me accountable. And that was exactly what I got in my center in Chandler, Arizona. And I owe a lot of my success to them, most of my success, because every week when I went in there, they knew, whether I did the walk of shame, I ate a pie again, sorry, or whether I came in my workout clothes and I had conquered a week and lost a couple pounds, they were there for me throughout the whole journey. They cheered me on. They were just one of my biggest advocates, and truly, I owe a lot of my success to that center. So, thanks, Lori.
So, while we have the attention of someone who has achieved tremendous results in the program, and knowing what we want to accomplish over the next few days and take back to our centers and transfer that information to our teams, this is a really great opportunity for us to do what Jenny was mentioning yesterday, really listen to what the clients are saying. What do the clients say? What do they need? You have to listen. You can't interrupt. You can't wait for that next question. You can't wait to ask that next question just because it's in your mind. You have to be thinking about what the client is saying to you in reality. And while we have Melissa standing in front of us, ready to share her story, I wanted to give you an opportunity to ask questions about things that are important to us. One of the questions I know that people are always asking is, what can we do differently when you do want to have that pie? What can we do to help support you more from our perspective? Because if we don't take care of every single person that walks through our door in the same way that we took care of Melissa, we will not have a successful business. We don't want people out there saying that they're on the Jenny Craig program and allowing them the freedom to do whatever they want. That's not the program. So what can we do differently in our centers with our teams to make sure every single person can speak the same language that Melissa's speaking when she's out on her blogs, when she's out with her friends, when she's out on her runs, because this is a different Melissa Kahn than walked into the center. So I believe, do we have any mics out there? We have the mics?
Yes.
Okay, great.
One over there, one back there.
Okay, perfect. So I would like to turn the attention to you, because I know there's always questions that we'd like to ask. Faith has a question right over here.
And Melissa, congratulations. You look beautiful. I know that you mentioned it was a really difficult journey for you, but you made it anyway, and it was worth it to you. And I know that your consultant, Cindy, was extremely pivotal in her support to you. And I want to be able to bring something back to my team about your experience. So when I think about the consultant, I would like to know, when you had those challenges that came up in life, whether it was related to you didn't have what you called a good week, or something happened in your life that you wanted to give up, what did your consultant do to inspire you and keep you motivated and moving towards your goal?
She kept me focused on the long haul. Every week might be difficult, whether, I don't know about you guys, I'm an emotional eater. So if I'm sad, I want a pie, the whole pie. So how's that going to work for you next week when you walk through the door and you've gained 3 pounds because you ate a pie? How will you feel the minute that pie is gone? She brings it, she keeps it real. How's that going to work for you? I mean, she pretty much puts it to me just like that. Keep the end goal in mind. What do you want? And every day, what steps are you going to take to even get a little bit closer to that goal? And if that step is not eating a pie, then consider that a victory for that day, and know that you can go on tomorrow and do better and better and better each day.
Jen, there's a question right over here.
So my question would be this.
Jackie, can you speak into the microphone?
You look fabulous. Like, absolutely, I can see why those wives were jealous.
That's the best feeling too.
What I'd like to know is how she supported you on the phone. Because we know during a long journey that there's those little pitfalls where sometimes you might fall away, and if it's 1 week, it might turn into 2 weeks, and that's just common to happen. How did she stay engaged with you and to make sure that you were still engaged with us when you were having the difficult times by phone?
By phone. Okay. Well, and I'm not sure how this works with you guys, but Cindy and I actually developed a friendship because when you walk into a center, you're basically bearing your soul, right, to your consultant. You're saying, here's all my flaws, and here's why I'm eating, and here's why I bear my emotional scars on the outside for the world to see. So she gave me her cell phone number, and she said, if you are weak, if you feel that you have a need, and you're about to do something that you'll regret, call me, and I'll help you out. Text me. And I believe there were times, probably still are times, when I text her and say, that milkshake looks really good. And she'll say, but how will your muffin top look when you can't dip your pants? How's that going to work out? So, I needed somebody to keep it real for me. That's the type of personality I needed. And so when Lori said, Cindy's the one for you, she was straight on. And she just gives it right back to me, all honesty. You could do that, but how will you feel the minute after you're done? And is it worth it? Is it worth the regret? Is it worth the gain? Is it worth it? And the answer is, always no.
Jenny has a question right over here in the front.
We got one right here too.
Oh.
Right here.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm going to piggyback and say, again, you look amazing. Congratulations. It's great that you had that type of relationship with your consultant. And you were 6 years? You said 6 years with Jenny?
Between 5.
Okay. And so tell me, as a client, what would you want to hear? Let's say if you hadn't been into the center in a year or two, what is the one thing that you would want to hear that could inspire you to come back?
Assuming I had gained weight again.
Assuming you had gained weight again, yes.
How's that working for you? How's that going? I would probably want to hear, we've missed you. We've been thinking about you. Now, I will say my center, when I would miss a couple weeks, they called me. And they said, hey, we miss you. Where are you? We have all your favorite pizza in stock. Where are you? I would want to hear that they actually knew who I was. I was not just another sale. I would want to know that they actually missed who I was and that they missed maybe seeing some progress. They missed being able to help me.
Well, first of all, Melissa, I want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
You're not just an inspiration. You're not just an inspiration to other clients, but you're an inspiration to everybody in this room.
Thank you.
My question to you is, what could we have done to make it easier for you, since you talked about how hard it was?
I don't know that there's something my consultant could have done to make it easy for me, because it's not easy. She did everything she could to give me the tools, to give me the food, to help my attitude and my mindset, but it's not easy, and I don't know that they could have given me something, a
not easy, but easier. Something that could have maybe made the journey a little easier. Can you think of anything that?
You know, I did receive a lot of encouragement, but maybe, you know, even a little bit more would have helped as well. I can't say that there was an encouragement deficit. There wasn't. They were very attentive, and they're still great when I go in. You know, I love going in there. So maybe even a little bit more, maybe personalized things. When I joined, I believe I got a thank you card, just something that said, "Hey, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're overweight." You know, I think that maybe some more personalized communication might be really good. If your clients are struggling, you know, okay, I haven't seen Miss Jenny in a week or two. Why don't we call her and see what's going on? That might be good.
Thank you for that.
Devin's got one in the back.
I can't see out there. Devin has one back. Okay.
Hi, I just wanted to congratulate you. You look amazing. Thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
What I wanted to know is when you were struggling and you had gained like a couple pounds, as a client, what kept you coming back? Why, you know, when you would go home and you gain that weight, what made you say, you know what, I'm going back next week to my appointment?
You know, it made me more determined. To see that scale go up is pretty devastating when you have a weight problem. You don't want to see it go up, and I'm not sure about, I can't speak to other people, but I know when I weigh myself, I close my eyes before I look, because you know, you're scared. You don't want to go back. Maybe it's like being a drug addict where, you know, you can't go back. You can't. So, can you repeat your question?
Just asking, what gave you the courage to go back next week when you maybe had gained a pound or two? When you went home and you said, no, I'm going back next week anyway?
You know, it was a determination. I'm very strong-willed, and so having a setback made me even more determined. Okay, well, that can't happen next week, and how am I going to take control right now to make sure that doesn't happen?
Hello, I'm Giselle from the New Jersey market. Congratulations. This week we're talking about increasing our guest sales. So I was wondering what your inspiration has been for your friends and coworkers, and how would you suggest as centers we can bridge that gap between your success and a friend saying, oh my gosh, you look amazing, and the friend saying, how can I find out more about Jen?
So you're asking me how the clients can help bridge the gap, or how the consultants can help bridge the gap?
How your friends can be inspired to come into the center as well. Or
Well,
did you inspire anybody to do so?
I hope I have. I believe I have. I think that when they look at the before picture and then they see the today picture, hopefully that's inspiration enough. But I think when I talk about them, the journey, and tell them about how I really feel that I got my life back from doing Jenny Craig. I got my happiness back. I got, you know, the zips in my step back. So I encourage people, because as you guys know, there's 4,000 different ways to lose weight. You've got the cabbage smoothie diet, you know, all these things, the HCG that everybody's doing, and I tell them, how's that going to work for you when you stop drinking your cabbage? How's it going to work when you stop taking your shots? How's it going to work? So what I tell them is that, for me, my experience, Jenny is a lifelong decision. Jenny is something that's not going to go away. We know it's going to be around forever, never, never, hopefully. And we, you know, I send them there because I ask them, why wouldn't you go? Why wouldn't you want to improve your life and, you know, have fun while doing it? The food is great. I mean, I love the food. So I tell them that you're not suffering. You don't have to eat kale every night for dinner, unless you want to, with Jenny. But I just encourage them to go, and I have referred many, many people to Cindy and to my center, and I think if they believe in themselves, and you take that back to your clients and let them know, believe in yourself. That's what I tell people who ask me how to do it.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline. I'm from the Chicago market. Again, you can't hear enough. You do look amazing, and congratulations. You had said 5 or 6 years you're on the program, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I hope your consultant, as much as we all love our jobs, did take some time off.
Can't
But
hear you very well.
I said I know we all love our jobs, but I hope within the 5-6 years your consultant did take some time off. And I know you said you like bare your soul and everything to your consultant. During that time, how did you feel seeing somebody else other than the one you're used to seeing?
I did not see anybody else, and it's Cindy. We have a thing, Cindy and I. Cindy, when I met Lori, and Lori said to me, I have the perfect person for you. I'm from Philly. I don't do fluff. I don't want somebody to say, oh, honey, I'm sorry you made a pie. No, I need somebody to come in and say, wow, that was a really, really bad decision you made. How can we make it better? And a lot of the consultants, they're very, very sweet, but unfortunately, sweet didn't work for me. I needed somebody to look me in the eye and say, you know, you have an issue, and we need to fix the issue. And by hugging and loving, that's great, but that doesn't fix the issue. So when Cindy was not there, I would just order a lot of food and, you know, just wait by the door for her to come back.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I just wanted to piggyback on inspiring other people to come into the centers. I know that weight loss is not easy and it's a hard subject to bring up. Is there any tool we could provide you as a client to make it easier for you to have conversations with people that you're concerned about? Or is there any more support we could provide you that would help bring people into the center?
You know, notwithstanding the articles in People magazine and things like that, I'm not sure how effective handing out literature would be, because in this day and age, people hand it to you and you can toss it. But I think, you know, I think it just has to be kind of the way it's been, word of mouth. I really feel is the best way to, you know, the before and after. I think that the proof is in the pudding, if you will. You see the before, you see the after. Why wouldn't you go in? I don't know what else you could provide as incentive for people to go in. You know?
Who has one?
Hi. For starters, congratulations. You do look amazing, and I'm sure on behalf of all of us, it's stories such as yourself that really make us feel so honored and so proud and privileged to have the positions that we do, because to get to come in every single day and watch transformations such as yours, there's no better job in the world. So really, congratulations. And I guess my question to you is also, being on the program for so many years, how do you keep it interesting and exciting in terms of the food? Because very often clients who've been on the journey for a long time will often say, well, I'm a little bored with the food, I'd like a little bit of a change, especially people who are emotional leaders who are used to eating out and so forth. What kind of advice would you give, or what did you do to keep it exciting?
You know, I put salsa on everything. I do. To me, to keep it interesting, I would go online, and there are millions of Jenny Craig clients who have invented their own way to volumize their food to make it more interesting. I make it interesting. Can I tell you guys a secret? The cinnamon rolls, I freeze them and I just put them all in my mouth at the same time. That's interesting. My kids like that. You know, we go out to eat a lot. I was sharing with Crystal. I think a friend of mine said, "Well, it's really hard. We're going out to eat. I can't do it." Sure, you can do it. You can keep it interesting, knowing that you're staying on the plan. But have a salad without the dressing, without the cheese, the bacon. Put some salsa on it and call it a day and be happy. You can volumize your food with all kinds of different things, as you guys know. And that's how I keep it interesting. I'm not very adventurous in my eating, so when I put garlic powder on my pizza, I think I'm awesome. Like, I just did it. So I think you have to be a little bit inventive, and you know, you have seasonal food, as you know, it comes and goes, and that helps, you know, make it a little bit more fun. But it is an eating plan, and you can only have so many options. So again, you might say to somebody, well, I'm sorry that you're really bored, but, you know, so go eat a whole Pizza Hut pizza, and you tell me how that's going to work for you. I'd rather be bored with my food.
Okay, last question.
Obviously, you're on the maintenance part of the program right now, which I know losing the weight was definitely a huge battle, especially in the beginning for you. hard, if not harder, than getting the weight off. So I know one of the things that my team is always, that we're always trying to get through to our consultants is that importance of the monthly maintenance consultation. So first off, how often are you going in currently on maintenance?
I'm probably going at least once every 2 weeks.
Every couple, and then what's the biggest thing that you get out of that every 2-week consultation while you're maintaining the weight?
I get encouragement to continue to maintain. I get laughter. I get just that support that I got the whole journey. I continue to get that support, and I get, I wouldn't say admiration, but I get a little bit of respect, saying, "Wow, you know, you did it, and you're continuing to do it," and that makes you feel good, and it makes you want to continue to do it. So I think.
Congratulations. Give yourself a lot more credit than you are, because you've got the right mindset, and the tools that we provided you, you applied. So congratulations.
Well, thank you guys.
Key comments from listening to the discussion and then listening to Melissa. Several of you have mentioned that it's hard. It's hard to lose weight. The one thing that I know personally, and that for those of you who have done the program know this as well, it's easy to lose weight if you just follow the program. The hard part is waking up every day with all the choices that are put in front of us to make the decision to stay on the journey to lose weight. And last night when we were talking about the various reasons that people join the program, whether it's for health, whether it's for appearance, it started off for health. Also appearance for you is what, you're turned into the trophy wife, right? But there's a variety of things that happen to the client along the journey, and that is why we have the important roles that we have, because it's so easy for clients to lose that perspective. Every single day they wake up with a choice. They can either continue on their journey or they can decide that they don't want to. So it's what we do to interact in those consultations, it's what we do on the phone to follow up for support, and it's what we do to help keep them focused on the end result of this journey. Every day is another opportunity, and it's so important for us to take this feeling that you have right now from hearing from Melissa, knowing what is going on in your centers right now, and you're probably already sitting in your mind thinking, wow, we could be doing things a lot differently in my center, and I hope that you are, because we need to. I hope that you're really questioning if we're providing the same quality, if we're providing the same service that every client deserves. If you're not, you need to start asking yourself, because the results are in our weight loss percentage, and I think we all know we have a lot of opportunity for improvement right there. So I just want to say one more time, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. I know that it's been a long road for you. You look fantastic. We're so proud to have you been part of this meeting and sharing all your information with our teams. And most importantly, don't forget what a critical role you have, because you change lives. Okay? So thank you. Okay. So we are going to continue on our journey, and we're going to get focused on moving forward. Yesterday we talked about where we're at in the game and what we're all thinking. Coming here together, we've had some ups and downs in the organization. We've had some changes. We've had lots of new things added, taken away. We've given you so much, and that is our responsibility. And so